Chapter 14. The Fallen. Azoth stood motionless in the vast war room, his hands clasped behind his back. The chamber was carved from starstone and obsidian, its ceiling lost in shadow high above. Before him floated a colossal map of Askare, projected in shimmering silver light. Half the continent now burned with pulsing red flames, each flicker a city fallen, a temple desecrated, or a legion shattered. The scent of ozone and scorched magic lingered in the air. The heavy doors groaned open behind him. Lyral, High Cleric of Illyria, entered alone. Her white and silver robes whispered against the polished floor. But she offered no bow, no kneel, no gesture of deference. The absence was louder than any shout. "My lord," she said, her voice echoing softly through the empty hall. Azoth did not turn. "Speak." Lyral approached until she stood beside him, her eyes tracing the burning map. The cathedral still echoes with her words. Millions heard the goddess of love beg for mercy, not in some distant vision, but in their hearts, clear as temple bells at dawn. The faithful are shaken. Azoth's jaw tightened, but his voice remained ice. "And what are my people saying now, cleric?" Lyral drew a slow breath, choosing her words with care. "Some whisper that the balance was always a lie we told ourselves. That Illyria has carried the heart of Elion for too long. Compassion, mercy, love, well, you, my lord, have carried only the blade of law. They ask why the supreme deity would force his own wife to her knees before the world." She paused, then continued, her tone dropping. "Others are louder. They say the fallen are no longer heretics to be destroyed, but lost children who must be brought home. The Silver Guard is fracturing before our eyes. Half demand we strike first, burn every last trace of rebellion. The other half, they speak of forgiveness, of reunion." Azoth finally turned to face her. His eyes, ancient and cold as the void between stars, bored into hers. For 10,000 years, no one had met that gaze without lowering their own. Lyral did not blink. "Careful," he warned, his voice low and dangerous. "You walk a razor's edge between counsel and treason. I speak only what your people already whisper in the cloisters and barracks." Lyral replied steadily. "And between those two factions stands your wife. Illyria has not left the cathedral since her address. The people are gathering there by the thousands. They look to her light now, not to the star throne." A flare of raw power rippled from Azoth. The map flickered violently, several crimson flames flaring brighter for a moment. The temperature in the chamber dropped sharply. "My wife," he said, each word measured, "has always been the gentle hand. But gentleness has limits. Order demands strength. The balance exists because I enforce it." Lyral's expression softened, though her resolve did not. "Then perhaps it is time you reminded her, and all of Askare, who truly sits upon the star throne, before the whispers become cries, before the Silver Guard chooses a side without you." Azoth stared at the burning map for a long moment, the red light reflecting in his eyes like twin infernos. The silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. Finally he spoke three quiet words that seemed to chill the very air. "Summon the Silver Guard." Lyral bowed her head only slightly. "As you command, my lord." She turned to leave but paused at the threshold. "Be wary, Azoth," she said softly, using his name for the first time in centuries. "Even gods can fall if the scales tip too far." The doors closed behind her with a resonant thud, leaving the supreme deity alone once more with the flames of a continent tearing itself apart.